Is your client using something, paying for something that you could service them with? If you can do it personally, or if someone from your team can do it, why aren't you doing it? I really think there's huge opportunity in all gyms to add vertical integration.
How do you come to the conclusion that this is the service we're going to add?
I think we looked at like 3 things. So I've got so many stories to share about the failures. I'm like, that'll work and let's do that. But I think it's how much time and energy and how much money are you willing to invest into what you're going to plug into your business?
How did you identify that retreats would be a really good service layer to add into the mix?
I really enjoy helping people, and people sort of saying, geez, I think that week changed my life. It makes me feel good.
Gym owners out there, what should they consider if they're thinking about adding a revenue layer?
So
welcome to another episode of Profit Made Simple. We have brought him back yet again, Mr. Connor Pettersson, Code 5. How are you, sir?
Yeah, really good. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Mate, not as excited as I am. You can hear it in my voice because we are going to be talking about vertical integration, which is a fancy term for just adding, stacking profit layers, additional services and products to serve your members, but also to make more profit. Now, you've done this a lot within Code 5. When do you know it's the right time to add a new product or service?
I think from the start.
Okay.
I mean, I would look at it and say, is your client using something, paying for something that you could service them with? If you can do it personally, or if someone from your team can do it, why aren't you doing it? Is sort of what my consideration is.
Okay, so you're looking for needs. So you're looking for where they're spending money, where you could potentially be offering it in-house at least the same level, if not better.
Yep.
Is that your kind of clue as to, yes, that's what I'm going to now add?
I would say that's like a really aggressive look at it. I think obviously you want to grow a base of clients, you want to have a great facility first. I was sort of jumping the gun, but after starting to do it, I just get so excited with wanting to do it more and more. I think it makes your clients stickier. I think it makes your job more exciting. So I really think there's huge opportunity in all gyms to add vertical integration. And yeah, I'm just really excited to discuss what they are.
Yeah, and look, I think there's 2 sides to this coin. So number one, there's been studies done on banks, and when banks have customers that have, don't quote me exactly on this, but 4 or more products, they end up a lot stickier and end up lasting a lot longer. So the retention is that much greater the more products you have. Similarly, you just said the same. It happens in gyms. The more products or services, subscriptions that they have, the more stickier they are. That's one side of the coin. So we should all be doing it and lots of it. The other side is, well, then you've got so much in terms of like diluted focus, because you've got different products, you need different champions. So how do you balance those 2?
It's such a good point, and it's something that, I've got so many stories to share about the failures and trying to do things, because I'm like, that'll work and let's do that. But I think it's the how much time and energy and how much money are you willing to invest into what you're going to plug into your business? Let's call it massage as an example. And then what's the return? So running the numbers. And that's all I've started to do now, is running the numbers on every single decision that I'm making, and sort of coming up with sort of 3 areas. So, if it goes really well, if it goes okay, and if it doesn't do very well. And then working out if I want to do it and where I think I would land out of those 3 scenarios. But so many mistakes about doing things at about a 50% effort mark, or investing 50% of the amount of money I needed to. So in the long term, clients tried it because they love me and they like Code 5. But that, let's call it massage again, because I did do that once. That didn't last very long because the experience wasn't very good.
Yeah, okay. So let's talk about more of the mistakes. I think it's really helpful.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about some of the home runs that you've hit by stacking some of these additional services. So massage.
Yep.
You underinvested in terms of, now when you talk about underinvestment, you're talking about capital, you're talking about time, you're talking about energy, you're talking about focus. Is that right?
I think the main one for me with these things is the facility layer.
Yeah.
What's the actual experience like going to be when they walk in? And me, when I did it, I was probably 25 when we added it in, 26. I'm pretty relaxed kind of guy. I'm okay with it being a little bit dingy. Yeah. But, the 40-year-old woman with a bit of cash, she doesn't want to, have to hear loud music in the background and those sorts of things. It's got to be really nice and peaceful.
Yes.
So there was a lot of mistakes with that. It was the underinvestment in the facility.
Yeah.
It was encouraging members to book in at any time when there was loud music next door and the whole experience was ruined. There was probably one masseuse that was, not as interested in working as many hours as I wanted. Me over marketing a product and selling a product that I said was better than what it was. So it didn't live up to the standards. So there was a lot of mistakes there.
Yeah, there's some really good insights and lessons. That's one of the mistakes you've made. Now, you have hit several home runs as well. And I remember, you and I have been supporting each other for a long period of time. And I remember many years ago, you spoke to our amazing clients. You were doing some work with us back then, and it was about retreats. And you broke down how to do a retreat. And I still see today that you're doing amazing retreats. How did you identify that retreats would be a really good service layer to add into the mix? And then what were some of the considerations that you had to make sure that they were special, that they did work?
Yeah. I think with retreats, it was something I was always passionate about. I sort of love traveling. And I think our members will go away on holidays. I remember thinking our members go away on holidays and we were very heavily weight loss focused. And I think you remember 8 years ago, 10 years ago, we were very heavily weight loss focused. Our members would go away on holidays. They would drink heavily, even if it was with their partner, and they'd come back gaining weight, feeling like shit. And I knew that the retreats were out there being run. And at this time, we might have had 400 members say, and I was like, if we can get 10% of these members to come, not only are we going to make money, but they're going to go on a holiday that they're going to enjoy and they're going to feel good at the end of it. And they might have one night drinking, not 6 or 7. So for me, it was just around what I felt the clients were struggling with was having a holiday where they were healthy.
Yeah.
And I offered that to them and it sort of took off. So that was sort of my idea behind it. And then me being so passionate just about traveling, I really wanted to selfishly go on these holidays. And I actually really, I've spoken about this a lot. I really enjoy helping people and people sort of saying to me, geez, I think that week changed my life, or that week did change my life. It makes me feel good. So it sort of all came together with, if I can spend 5 to 7 days with someone, not about the weight loss, but they might break barriers, they might feel better about themselves, I make a little bit of money, I feel really good, I build a stronger connection with them. It was all positive things. So it was sort of a no-brainer to get started, and it has done really well.
Yeah, you've been running them for a really long time. How do you look at something like a retreat and go, this is what needs to happen for it to financially work? I understand the impact is huge. Understand that you get a paid holiday, or you don't have to actually put your own money in, the business pays for you. But how do you make it work? Because you are taking yourself out of the business for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And there's got to be some financial upside there for you as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think what I generally try and just mark things up 20%.
Yeah.
I make sure my flights are covered and my accommodation's covered, and then increase by about 20%. So try and look to make, once that's all done, about 10 to 15% net profit off the retreat. I don't try and I try and be really honest with what the costings are. So I'll give them an option. I'll say, look, it's about $2,000 for the retreat, accommodation, food. You've got to pay for your own flights. Then we've got these additional activities, which are $50 to $80 Australian if you want to opt in or opt out. So they're really aware of the amount that they're in for. But then I sort of also let them know what they're going to get out of it as well. So whether it's coaching in the lead up, whether it's weight loss coaching, whether it's some mindset coaching in the lead up, I think at the end of the day as well, a lot of people are just interested in trying something new, doing something different. And I think they're actually excited to spend a week with me, and just, some of the members I haven't really met before. So they're just excited to hang out and catch up and get coached by me, trained by me, because I do all the coaching. And I love it too. So it works out. Yeah, it works out really well.
Fantastic. So that's one layer that you've added. It's consistent in your business, and it's a real highlight for a lot of the members there. What else have you added successfully into the product mix?
There's a few things. I want to touch one more thing on retreats.
Yeah, please.
If you don't mind. I think because you asked sort of a layered question earlier, and of why we started and how we make it special.
Yeah.
I think making it special.
There's a lot of retreats out there. Why should I get a Code 5 retreat?
Yeah. I think, we really try and bring the members together. So, mixture of strength training, conditioning, and yoga and those sorts of things. But then every single meal, you're sitting next to someone new. At the start, I encourage people, I say, this is about leaving your comfort zone. Your goal is, if you're from North Ryde or Brookvale, you've got to mingle with everyone. I don't want you to stick together. Get to know everyone. And then I try and do things that other retreats wouldn't do. So more recently, I think I mentioned on the other podcast, we did the beer mile.
Yes,
So
I saw a reel of that. That looked disgusting. Now describe it to the listeners.
So I asked everyone on the retreat. I've been, I've wanted to do this for a while. We've got a 200-meter running track here. It's about 35 degrees. It feels like 50. We've got to drink 4 beers. So every 400 meters, you drink a beer. So it's a mile, 1.6 Ks. And we'll time it. And we'll see what time we get. I think the record might be like 4 or 5 minutes or something insane for the mile.
Wow.
And we had about 12 people do it. We had about 30, 35 people at the retreat, and the rest sat around on the hill
Cheering.
watching us doing it. Yeah, on like the second last day. And, it's just things that are probably a bit out there and a bit wacky. And they were like, okay, we're on a
4 or
health
5 minutes for the mile.
I know, yeah. That's insane. We didn't do that. That's the world record.
Okay.
No, I think we did like 8 or something. Or I did 8 or 9 maybe. But that was, that's one experience. And then the other, and that made people laugh and connect. And then the other thing is, I did an amazing race. So they got in teams of 4. They all met at the hotel and they had to do like 10 different activities, whether it was piggyback rides from the Indonesian staff, whether it was making a cocktail behind the bar, 10-minute sauna, 5-minute ice bath, score a goal against one of the garden people, the gardeners. There's a plane up the road from the hotel, take a photo in front of a plane, all these sorts of things. And then they got to the next level and they got in an Uber, in a driver with one of the Indonesian drivers. And then they drove them through. And one of the challenges was like, get drive through McDonald's and just things that people wouldn't normally do that are hilarious. And at the end of it, they were all paired off with different people from the gym. And that was like day 2. So they already had made 3 or 4 friends that they'd done these crazy things with. And it was just about sort of breaking down those barriers and meeting new people and things that other gyms potentially or other fitness retreats wouldn't do. It's very eat clean, do these, you've got to do your yoga, you've got to do your hour and a half of exercise. Everything's optional, but I just try and make it as fun as I can.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I can see you in your element on that space.
Yeah.
So we've got the retreats, and they're an absolute, banger of an experience. What other layers have you put in at Code 5?
So 2 main ones that are working out quite well for us was our endurance coaching program.
What's that?
So we were finding that a lot of our members were, doing half marathons, and they'd actually end up leaving the gym, pay another coach to do it, and go to like a Plus Fitness and do 2 days a week strength, do 3 days of running, and train for their marathon. So, we just brought in our own endurance coach. Now we coach 50 or 60 members on helping them run 5K, 10K, half marathon, marathons. We had someone do, she's amazing. Her name's Bernie. She did a marathon. She did the Sydney Marathon in an amazing, really quick time. She also did the Backyard Ultra. She did 10 or 15 laps.
Oh,
maybe like 150 kilometers or 100 kilometers. So now we're coaching that, which is great. And it means that the member who does lose 10 kilos, if you look at the life cycle of what they're going to do, they can set some lofty goals that make them leave their comfort zone. But they know the coach because he coaches at Balgowlah, and they can go chat to him or they can call him up and ask a question, and he programs their running as well as their strength, or they do 2 strength classes and they do their running. So we've added that in.
Is that an additional subscription?
It's an additional cost.
Yeah. Okay.
So you sort of have like a gold one if you want it linking to your watch, and that's True Training Peaks. And you get a weekly review on your progress and everything. And then you have a more basic level where you just get a program and you follow it.
Yeah, I really like that. I have seen you guys do a lot more in terms of the run clubs. You did Noosa Marathon last year. You took a crew up there. And so knowing where people are going, what the trend is, and then making sure that, again, we're providing an opportunity where they can achieve and accomplish something that's popular right now, but within the confines of our community and environment.
Exactly. And we try and then sort of double down on it and go a little bit further. So we did the Queenstown Marathon. There was about 10 of us that went over on the weekend.
I did see that.
Yeah. I almost died.
It looked like it.
I strained my calf twice in the training, so it was a horrible run for me. But, we went over there and that was an amazing experience. The Sun Run, which is only 10 Ks through the Northern Beaches.
Phenomenal run.
We have the after party at the Stay-In Hotel, and last year we had about 500 people. This year we're going to go for 1,000.
Wow.
So we'll run a few ads. We'll link up with the Stay-In, and we'll say, if you want to win these prizes, you've got to opt in to come to the after party. You get a year free supplements. You might get a one-night stay at the Stay-In, 6-month free at Code 5. So all these people from the Northern Beaches opt in, and we get their data. They come along and we raffle off the prizes after the Sun Run. They get a free 8-week running program, those sorts of things. So we sort of lean into the endurance coaching space now, and hopefully in a few years, we have a couple of hundred. from wherever you are in Sydney. If you want to be coached with weight loss or with your running, you can work with us.
Yeah, fantastic. What's another layer that you've added recently, particularly in one location, that has been exciting?
Yeah, the code hot, so the infrared
Yeah.
yoga and Pilates. I guess that was just a consideration about what we thought was trending and what was sort of missing in the location or that area. So there's no infrared, as far as we knew around Brookvale. There's a few in the northern beaches, but not really near us. So we added that in, and it's gone really well. It's really popped off. A lot of females love it. A lot of our members love it for recovery. They might do the meditation or the stretching and mobility classes. And it's just exciting to have another platform to work off, to create content with, to get people in to experience the gym. We've had a lot of people go, yeah, I'll try Pilates. And then while they're on their trial, we say, hey, for $14, you can go do the strength for 2 weeks. And they try that, and they've never deadlifted before. And they're like, oh, I like both. And they join on our premium package to have access to both. So it's also a really good lead opportunity for the whole gym too, is having the yoga and Pilates.
Yeah, I like that reciprocal side. So you can now have an additional marketing lure, which is code hot.
Yep.
And then you can cross-pollinate. They can then come into the strength and vice versa. So that's a premium membership where they get access to everything you do at Code, plus they get the hot classes as well.
Yep, exactly. And it has worked really well. And it's sort of, I think, shocked some of the women that have tried it. And then they've seen the gym floor and they're like, oh, everyone's just a really friendly, average-looking person like me. I'm going to go down and try it. And they do. And then they're like, oh, I'm learning new skills. I'm enjoying it. So it's breaking down that, people are scared of gyms. They might have done yoga for years or Pilates for years, but they've never stepped foot and learned how to back squat or deadlift or those sorts of things, or use a ski erg. So, yeah, it's been a really nice addition.
Fantastic. So how are you identifying a gap like that? Is that just from looking at the broader industry and what's popular and what's trending? Is that listening to your members? Is that seeing where else they're spending money? How do you come to the conclusion that this is how we're going to, this is the service we're going to add?
Yeah. I think we looked at like 3 things, and you sort of nailed them. So we polled our members. We ran the numbers financially. Does this make sense? How many members do we need to add? What's the fit out cost? What's the electricity bill going to be? What's the staffing cost going to be? And working that out for infrared in particular. And then we looked at the competition. I never, ever used to look at competition at all. And now I'm sort of obsessed with what other countries are doing and other people are doing, just to see, in particular, in certain areas, if we moved that location, what would we be like? And we looked at Brookvale and we thought there wasn't anyone doing infrared, and we thought it'd be a good lead generation tool. We thought it'd be a great addition for our members. The numbers made sense. The fit out, it always goes over budget. But it made sense. It's improved retention. So yeah, that's sort of what we look at really.
That's the criteria.
And we polled our members. I probably couldn't stress this enough. I talk to just people in any industry, and I'm like, have you asked your members? Have you asked your 1,000-strong database? And they're like, no, I haven't. And it's like, well, maybe you should.
Yeah, it's we make these big assumptions, and it's like, hey, a simple way that we can test that assumption, see if there's some validation here, is to simply ask.
Yeah, and I think you've given me some amazing advice, and that's why I guess I love working together around the recovery space. I'm still big on doing it. One day it will happen. But the cost and the fit out, the stress, the complexities behind leaking and wet areas and those sorts of things, I polled my clients about what they would want to pay, and there weren't enough people to feasibly make it work.
Interesting insight, because that's where a number of people within the industry have gone. We've seen the recovery sector boom. I know we were having a call and I was like, Connor, just think about it, because I've got some cautionary tales for you in that space. So when you're thinking about an idea like that, you've gone and reached out to people that you entrust. You've gone and polled your members, and you've just, I guess, come to the conclusion, not right now.
Yeah, not right now. I think, and the numbers right now, the numbers are telling the story. I'm really working out how many members I need to upgrade, at what cost are they willing to pay per week, how much is the staffing, how much is electricity going to be, running saunas, all these things, and really trying to manage the numbers as closely as I can. And then work out, okay, if it is profitable, which I think I can get it profitable, how profitable will it be? And what will the increase in retention be? And then you've also got to juggle, would you want to just rebrand it and do it something different, which might bring in a whole new market? Because I don't want to do it inside one of my locations because they're not big enough to fit a nice recovery space.
Yeah, and there's some really important consideration there. I believe recovery is an incredible retention tool. So whilst obviously it needs to be still profitable on the front end, but you do have to estimate how does this take retention from a 95 to a 97, or how sticky does it make them? And you've got to make some assumptions and some hypothesis around that to make sure that it works.
Yeah, and I did it in, I think, 2016 or 2017 with an ice bath and a sauna.
I remember.
And it did not work. But again, that was me, mid-20s thinking people don't care about, being their swimmers in front of other people. It's like they want privacy.
Yeah, they do. Similar mistake to the massage.
Yeah, exactly. So I had my opinion. I didn't poll my members. I just went and bought the stuff. So now when I'm doing it, I'm predicting like a $250,000 fit out to do it.
Yeah.
How many members do I need to upgrade it? At what years do I get that money back? How many new members do I need to bring in? So it's a lot to do. But selfishly, I kind of want to do it because it's an itch I want to scratch for myself.
Yeah, you want that recovery space. Now, one thing I know you guys do incredibly well at Code 5 is weight loss coaching. That is another level in your membership as well.
Yep. So we have online members that are in our Code Complete program, and then we have some current members that train in the gym, and they're part of the Code Complete as well. It's sort of like accountability coaching. We make sure that the coach taking it is certified with some nutritional background. And it just gets amazing results. I would say the reason it gets such good results is because there's structure and accountability. You've run a marathon in a really quick time and you had great coaching and structure and accountability to do that, even though I know you're really intrinsically motivated. But a lot of these people who want to lose weight, they've tried for years. And even though they've been a member at Code 5 and they've trained 3 days a week, we know that's, a couple of hours a week. And outside of that, they eat like a jackass and they drink a bottle of wine over the weekend here and there. And they don't lose weight. So this just gives them structure and accountability. It's a really easy format, and it's something I recommend gyms add on. Yeah. We charge over $100, and it's, they get results when you pay.
$100 a week?
$100 a week to take part. And when you pay attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you really value the coaching and the feedback, and you follow and you track what you eat, and then you get a proper review at the end of the week. As I said, we've done it for free with people wanting to help people. And it just unfortunately doesn't work out. You sound horrible, but when people pay, they do pay attention. So getting the investment really works for us and sees good results.
Yeah, and accountability is such a big piece of the jigsaw, and quite often that is what they need. They need a lot more accountability to get to the end result. And so when we stack layers, quite often it's just more resources, more access, more accountability. That's what it is generally. I want to ask you about a layer that you talked about in our very first podcast, and that is something that you're exploring deeply right now, and that is supplements. Where are we up to with supplements? Because I know this is another another itch that you have to scratch.
Yes, I know. It's an interesting one because you don't want to do too many things.
Yeah.
But it's something I'm really passionate about. Supplements have helped me a lot personally, and I think a lot of our members use supplements. So we're really close to launch called Success Supplements. We've got about 5 products I've been taste testing, and it'll be linking particularly with gyms. So a lot of gym owners that want to reach out and chat to me about it, I'd love to help them. It's just a subscription model where their members can purchase the supplements on a retainer, so it turns up every month at the gym. Hopefully like Christmas, the first day of the month. They go there, they work in the gym at 6 a.m. There's like 30 people there. And there's 25 Success Supplements boxes. And they have to walk over and open them and get their flavored creatine and their protein. And everyone in the gym's missing out. They're getting FOMO. They're like, what's that? So that's the goal. And then hopefully the gym owner can sort of guide them, help the members get better results from taking the supplements. And then the gym can also get, 10, 15% revenue back for the retainer for the members. So ideally, our goal is to help gyms earn an extra 10 grand a year without having to do much. The boxes will turn up, you put them out on the gym floor, create excitement, and you just build off the back of that.
Yeah, beautiful. How can people find out a little bit more about that, Connor?
Right now, you're going to have to personally reach out to me. We're probably a month away from launch with the website. Products are being finalized. Reach out personally to me on my Instagram or my email, connor@code5.com.au, or my Instagram, Connor Pettersson. PETTERSSON.
Yeah, good. Thank you for spelling that out.
Yeah. And I love to chat, and then they can sort of just go on the waiting list, and then I'll jump on a call with them in probably 30 days, I guess, middle of December, and link them up for the start of the new year.
Yeah, beautiful. Final thoughts. Gym owners out there, studio owners, they're listening to this going, man, all this sounds good. What should they consider if they're thinking about adding a revenue layer?
It's such a important thing to do, I believe, in gyms, because right now, more than ever, with rent increasing, staff wanting to be paid more, sometimes I feel like we're drowning a little bit. And I know a lot of industries are, but in particular, gym owners. For me, I'm really passionate about retreats. I love it. I think it's really good for retention, and you can earn between 5 and 20 grand in a week. But I think a really simple one is just nutritional coaching. I really think that's an easy one. If you're not qualified, if you don't feel comfortable, just get a qualification. There's courses you can do for $500 a grand. Do it and start to onboard members to pay an extra $40, $50 a week for 12 or 26-week programs. And then you change their life. You give them accountability, you give them structure, it'll make you feel good for helping them. So my biggest one, I think, is like our Code Complete program, whether it's accountability or whether it's nutrition or whether it's linking them both in, help your clients get better results and they will have to pay more for it, but you're going to earn more yourself. And I think as a business owner, if you own one gym, this is a way that you could onboard 20, 30 members paying an extra $50 a week and manage them and get them really good results and, be earning a couple of grand extra.
Yeah, I think that's incredible insights right there. It's 7 times easier to sell to your current members than it is to attract a new one. So that's why we do want to build products and services. We want to be strategic about it. We want to make sure we give ourselves the best opportunity of success. I've said for over a decade, nutrition coaching is a missing piece of the puzzle. You don't need to have a nutrition degree because it's habit-based a lot of the time. It's around accountability. A nutrition degree is certainly going to consolidate and add more to that. But don't get stuck in the weeds thinking, I've got to go and do this degree to make this happen. What they're paying for is that extra support. So thank you for sharing that. And that's the encouragement I think many people will need. Connor, loved it. Another incredible episode, how to stack revenue layers, products, services. I want our community to make sure they follow you, your journey, the supplements, everything exciting that you're doing. Where can they follow you?
Thanks for pumping me up. I'm looking forward to the increase in followers. I'm really excited and I love coming on the podcast, so it's been good. They can just jump on Instagram and it's Connor Pettersson. Follow me there. They can shoot me an email as well, connor@code5.com.au. And love to link up with anyone if they have any questions or need any help.
Make sure you guys do it. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Profit Made Simple.